Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to be talking about how to get into blacksmithing. I've had a lot of people ask, how do you build a forge? How do you get the tools? How do you get the money? I'm just going to go over how I started into blacksmithing myself. This is going to be our new series. It's going to be anvil time. Got my anvil right here. Something to lean up against. And we're just going to be going over the very basics, minimum stuff that you need to get into blacksmithing. I'm going to show you the gear that I started with when I first really got started into blacksmithing. A bit about me, I got started into blacksmithing when I was 8 years old. It wasn't the blacksmithing you'd think it was mostly flattening pipes on a rock. And I made little swords and trinkets like that. I didn't have any heat or anything, but that's when I first started getting into metalworking. Over time, I eventually started using a campfire, but my first real blacksmithing experience was when I was about 11 years old. Just campfire smithing. Sorry, there's a big shadow in here. There we go. Just campfire smithing. I have my first anvil. Go grab that. Guys, so I got my first anvil. Yes, it is a rock. I didn't need to buy a nice anvil. This was my very first anvil. It was just a piece of rock I actually dug up. See, my first blacksmith shop was a hole I dug in my backyard. I know, that's pretty sad. It wasn't a real thing. I started with a rock and a hammer. I don't have the original hammer. I do have my second hammer I ever got though. Let me go grab that. Okay guys, so this is the second hammer I ever owned. Just a small carpenter's claw hammer. And I just hit my metal across this rock. And that's all you need to get started with blacksmithing. And I was heating up with just a simple campfire. Didn't get it very hot, but I was working with pipe, so it got it hot enough. Eventually, I stepped up for my rock, and I bought this. It's a $25 anvil. I'll zoom in for you guys to show you how beat up this thing is. You can see there's a little arc. That's because this is where I hammered. This thing lasts me probably a year. And then I finally bought the good old anvil I'm still using today. This was a great starting anvil. I bought it from Harbor Freight again. The horn is very sad. It's very humble. I broke it off, I think. Again, you can see that bend, all the dents, the hardy hole. Can't even get my pinky in there. This was meant to be a jeweler's anvil. I did not know that when I bought it. I forged a crossbow on this. But there's definitely some big dents in it. It served me well though for the time. And honestly, all you need to get started into blacksmithing, something to hit with, and something to hit against, and something to heat it up. Again, this is the bare minimum. I used this, and actually instead of a hammer, you could use a rock. It wouldn't be very fun, but you could use 2 rocks and a campfire. That's all you need. But, of course, there is better ways to improve that. So, I got a hammer, and this is much better than a rock. You don't have to go like this with it all the time. You can actually get some leverage. And then I stepped up to a good anvil, and it's really served me well. I suggest if you guys are seriously wanting to get into blacksmithing, buy good tools. Because the better the tool you buy, the longer it will last you. Again, there's things that you can do to make the tools have a longer lifetime, stretch it out just by a little bit. But duct tape isn't going to hold it all together forever. Sometimes you just got to spend the money and just get the good tools. Again, I suggest just buying a small little anvil before you buy a bigger one, because this small one, it'll last me a whole year. You don't need a big This is a 66 pound. This is, I think, 15 pound. So again, you don't need a big anvil to do big things. Like I said, I forged a whole crossbow on this thing, which I'll show you in a minute. But you don't really need a big shop. You don't need a power hammer. You don't need a press. You don't need all the fancy tools that you think you need to get started in blacksmithing. It can be 2 rocks and a campfire. That's all you need. But if you're really serious into getting into blacksmithing, I highly suggest taking classes. There's tons of guys out there who teach classes. Who knows, maybe I will even someday. But you just need to take a class, see if you like it before you invest all the money for the tools. Now again, most of you probably have some rocks laying around or a hammer. You can probably find a railroad track or an I-beam, even a piece of concrete. It doesn't have to be a big fancy tool to get started into blacksmithing. Me and Todd, we used this rock for probably 2 years. Again, we weren't able to make anything that we even tried to sell, but we were able to do blacksmithing at a basic level, even when we were 8 years old. We were able to create small little tools. We created little knives out of flattened pipe. Definitely not good quality tools, but for what we have, it was pretty cool. Now we have a lot better tools and we can make a lot better things. Again, the tool makes the master, but blacksmithing, it's also true the other way, master makes the tool. So if you can get started in blacksmithing with just some simple rocks and forge some knives, some like basic tools, then it's worth it. And also, it's just so much fun. I urge you guys to go out and create something. The satisfaction you'll get from creating something is worth all of the pain and hard times that you'll have, because you will have those. It will take you a long time to develop the skills. You'll have a lot of failed projects with things to learn from them. I have failures every day. I don't even want to count how many mistakes I've made today, but mistakes make the person. The thing is, you need to learn from your mistakes. That's the best thing that any craftsman can do. I need to do better at it personally. I was recently working on a project and the quench just snapped right in half. So I need to learn from that. I need to, I think the problem was I was making a knife and I had a stress fracture in it. I thought I could grind it out, but apparently it went all the way through. So I can learn from that experience, and next time I will make sure that there's no stress fractures in the forging process. And that's just learning from my mistake. Now, there is no way you can be a perfect blacksmith. It's just not possible. Everyone makes mistakes. Look at Alex Steele, John Switzer, Brian Brazil. They all make mistakes, but they've all learned from them. That's why they're great smiths. And that's why I hope to be a great smith, because I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. You will have mistakes. There's no way to avoid that. But the best thing is to learn how to learn from them. If you can make a mistake, you're holding your hammer wrong, hold it the right way next time. Don't use your thumb, hold it like this. There's so much educational videos on YouTube. My channel, John Switzer's, at Black Bear Forge, Alex Steele's, Fireball Tools. They all have so many great, there's so much great information out there. There's no excuse for you to not learn. So I urge you to go out to your shop and just create something. Learn from it. Whether it's stitching up a wallet or forging a gigantic sword, it doesn't matter. You just need to go out to your shop and build something with your hands, because the satisfaction you'll get is worth it. When I was just starting blacksmithing, I made tools that I'd frown upon today, but it was so cool to me that I was able to make something with my hands. When you can make something with your hands, the satisfaction you'll get from it is unlike anything else. I've made so many things in the past, but I still have a ton to learn. I am still learning myself. And just to end this video, I know it's starting to drag on, but you need to get out in your shop and create. You don't need very much to create with. Todd has a great video I'll link to up there and also in the description on how to build a great forge. You don't need a forge like his, but that does really help. My forge, let me grab it just real quick. My forge, which is simple. It's 6 fire bricks. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart, but that's okay. It was 6 fire bricks held together by some plumber pipe stoppers, I think. I don't know what they're called, but it served me. As you can see, it's kind of in bad condition right now. This is supposed to be on the top, but I drilled out a little hole in there, and I was able to feed propane torch. Let me grab one, just real quick. You had your propane torch. You're able to just feed it in here. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Gotta fix the forge. As you can see, it heats it up nicely. And that's all you need. I actually didn't start out with this. I started out with a campfire. And then I went to a coffee can forge, which I'll show you guys how to make sometime. My point is, you don't need very much to start. Just go. Just start. If you can afford it, take blacksmithing classes. Me and Todd, I took one blacksmithing class and I couldn't afford it anymore. So I just started creating. I took my first blacksmithing class when I was 13 years old and couldn't afford it. I still haven't taken a class since. I feel like I don't need to anymore. I've gotten the knowledge that they teach me at a basic class. I can make good things now. But the thing is, the reason why I can make good things now is because of my experience. The only way you can get that experience is to start. You must start. You can't just think that, oh, I took a blacksmith class and now I'm a professional. I took a blacksmith class and I learned a little, but honestly, if I had the money at the time, I would have gone back for more. But now, I've gotten to the point where I could teach the classes, I feel. I'm probably not going to. I still have a ton to learn. And until I am comfortable teaching classes, I won't. But maybe someday I'll be able to teach classes. That would be a great thing for me. My point is, I really just want to bring others into the craft. Blacksmithing is dying. We need people to come back into it. Come on, this is an art. We got to keep it going. There's so many arts out there that are just died away, like basket weaving. Pottery's coming back, but it was dying for a long time. We just need people to save the craft. You're born to do blacksmithing, whether you know it or not. If you have an urge to make something cool out of metal, then you have the possibility of being a great blacksmith. When I started, I was told, first class I ever took, that I was born for blacksmithing. To be honest, I kind of feel like I am, but that does not make me a master smith. I still have a ton to learn, and that's the best thing. Learning is a blessing. Learning is the best thing that you'll ever have in the craft. With learning comes experience with knowledge. With your knowledge, you can make so many great things. I just urge you guys to go out to your shop. Well, that's about all I have for you guys today. So go out to your shop and make something. Also, if you like these videos, please leave a comment, push the like button and the ring, the little bell, you know, and subscribe. We really would like subscribers. If you guys like these videos, please tell us. And also send us pictures. You know our email address. I'll put it in the comments below. Send us pictures of what you guys are making. We love ideas and we love to see what you guys are creating, because our point of our channel is to teach you guys. We really want to teach you guys how to get out in the shop and make something of your own. So please go out to your shop and do some smithing, do some weaving, do some sewing, whatever it be, just do some creation.